Make sure you have completed the try this before you go any further. If you have not completed the try this, please press pause and do the try this first, and then unpause it to check your answer. If you did this correctly, I'm going to fill in the boxes for you. Your original should be 4, 3, -5, and then underneath 2, -7, and 1. In your first step, you should have gone through and multiplied by 1/4. And it should look like this. You should have a 3/4 in here. That's a 4. And a -5/4 over here. Underneath, you never changed anything, so this should have stayed 2, should have stayed -7, and should have stayed as 1. In the second step, you should have multiplied by -2, leaving you at the bottom row to be -17 over 2 and 7 over 2. The top row staying the same as 3/4 and -5/4. In the third step, you should have multiplied by -2 over 17. And if you multiply by -2 over 17, you end up with -7 over 17 in that bottom row. Your top row staying the same, 3/4 and -5/4. And then in your very last step, you should have multiplied by -3/4, leaving you with -16 over 17 and -7 over 17. So your answer should be, and I'm going to write it over here, x should have been -16 over 17, and y should have been -7 over 17. If you have questions on any part of this, please raise your hand. If not, you can go ahead down to the second try this, letter B. Pause it, and then unpause it when you're ready to check your answer. If you did this one correctly, your first boxes should say 4, oh, not 4, I'm sorry. Oops, should say 3, -8, -1, and your second row would be 2, -6, and -1. In the very first step, you should have multiplied by 1/3, leaving you with the top row being -8/3 and -1/3, and the bottom being 2, -6, and -1 still. Then in your second step, we should have multiplied by -2. Our first row staying the same would be still -8/3 and -1/3. And our second step being -2/3, or second row, -2/3 and -1/3. In step number 3 here, you should have multiplied by -3 over 2. That gives us our first row staying the same as -8 over 3 and -1 over 3. Our bottom equation, or bottom row, changes to 1/2. And then in our fourth step, we are multiplying by 8/3. So our top equation should be 1, and our bottom row should be 1/2, leaving us with answers that x is +1 and y is 1/2. If you have questions, please let me know. Otherwise, you can get started on your homework.